Got them nice beats going. Not really swimming weather, but a pretty nice day regardless. Anyway guys, this is TVB and I'm here today in Florida. It's a gorgeous beach today. And you guys remember a few days ago when I made my top 9 best movies of the 2010s? Those were like a few of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, I wasn't originally gonna make this video. My picks for the most horrendous trash sticks that came out this decade. But I figured, you know what, with every best list, I feel like there should be a worst list. Because yeah, some of my favorite movies of all time did come out during the 2010s, but at the same time, some of my least favorite movies of all time have also come out during the 2010s. And if I made a video back in 2014 ranking my top 10 worst movies of all time, might as well do one going over all the worst movies that came out this decade. And yeah, here we are now, just going for a walk at the beach, and yeah, I'm outside. If the video's kind of, if the audio's kind of funky with the wind blowing through my camera and the sound of the waves, I apologize in advance. But anyway, before we begin our descent into hell, I have a handful of dishonorable mentions. Grown Ups 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure Grown Ups 1 came out in 2010, but Grown Ups 2 came out in 2013. Oh my god, those movies. Adam Sandler, please stop. The Host, which is a horrible ripoff of both Twilight. Actually, no, it was based on a book written by the same author that wrote Twilight, and but it also rips off the body Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Don't watch it. Ice Age Collision Course, Normal in the North, The Emoji Movie, and Sherlock Gnomes. Those movies are horrible, like, pieces of garbage and are a disgrace to the art of animation. Winchester, Truth or Dare, Gods of Egypt, Max Steel, Unforgettable. Believe me, Unforgettable lives up to it, is very forgettable. That's how much it doesn't, like, I almost forgot I even saw that movie until I started making this list. That's how much it doesn't live up to its title. Rings, who asked for a sequel, reboot, whatever the fuck that movie was, of Ring. The Hustle, Replicas, Diary of a Wimpy Kid 3, and Cats, which I just saw recently. Those movies were terrible, horrible movies, but not as horrible as the 9 films that I'm about to explain right here. But keep in mind, this list is based completely off of my opinion. You know, you might be asking yourself when you watch this video, it's like, oh, why wasn't that movie as high on the list as that movie? Again, it's just my opinion. And there were some, like, movies I saw this decade that a lot of people really didn't like, that I didn't really have as much of a problem with. And at the same time, there's a lot of really bad movies that I just haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen Four Stick, I haven't seen Holmes and Watson, I haven't seen Breaking Dawn Part 1 or 2, I haven't seen, geez, what other really bad movies? X-Men Apocalypse, I haven't seen, you know, just there was also a lot of really unnecessary sequels that came out this decade. But, you know, for the horrible movies I did see this decade, they'll definitely be seen here. Kicking off the list of my friends is the 4th Diary of a Wimpy Kid film, The Long Haul. This, last time I checked, when I reviewed this movie back in 2017, became my most viewed movie review. Like, it has over 1,000 views. Not my first movie review to make over 1,000 views. That was my review for Normal in the North. But this one was one of the few videos that made it past 1,000 views, and, like, I can't believe, oh, The Long Haul. It's like, you know how I put the 3rd Diary of a Kid film, Dog Days, in my dishonorable mentions? Yeah. The Long Haul makes Dog Days look like Empire Strikes Back. It is so bad. It's so unnecessary. For one of the most unnecessary sequels of all time. It was just like a new cast, new jokes. Let's skip a bunch of Diary of a Kid books and let's just make a movie A Long Haul. Who cares? Oh, let's make a horrible message for kids. Like, oh, don't they'll just like make a YouTube channel and make millions off that. No, guys, I've been making YouTube videos for more than 6 years now, and you know I'm a college student, and like I haven't made a single cent. Please do not take that advice. If you're gonna start a YouTube channel, do it with enjoying yourself, having fun in mind, not making money. Trust me, you will get nowhere, or it's very unlikely that you'll get anywhere. But you guys know what I'm saying. Just long haul, the comedy's atrocious. It's really cringy. It's just the worst. Actually, no, it's not the worst, considering there's 8 more movies that that came out this decade that I hated more. But seriously, I would highly advise you not to watch Long Haul.
Number 8!
Same thing with number 8 choice. Another horror movie that came out this decade is Jack and Jill. Now, I didn't like watch this movie until Netflix wanna. I watched it on DVD in back in 2015 or 2016, I believe. This movie in 2011, I heard that it won every single Razzie Award of its respected year, all 11 Razzies. It just totally sweeps the whole ceremony. And I looked that up and I was like, okay, this I gotta see. And guys, oh my goodness, Adam Sandler just at his worst. I hear Adam Sandler was great in Uncut Gems. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I hear he's great in that, so good for him that he's gotten into his groove again. But seriously, what happened with this movie? Al Pacino, what was Al Pacino doing in this movie? I really hope he fired his agents after, signing up for that. It was just, the comedy was atrocious. Adam Sandler plays both himself, Jack, and his twin sister Jill, has this atrocious girly voice. And how on earth this movie passes the PG rating? There are so many offensive jokes and stereotypes about hookers and boobies and kids and Indian people and atheists. Just all these really just bad jokes that are just oh, why? Just the fart jokes and the pee-pee jokes and look at this nice stream over here. Oh, the seagulls are over there. Anyway, I can see why it sweeps the Razzies, and it's truly one of the worst. Just Adam Sandler, there was definitely a dark time in his period, and this was really the peak of his atrocity, guys, or his atrociousness. I don't know what the word is, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Number 7.
As I've mentioned in my dishonorable mentions, or right after my dishonorable mentions, I have not seen Breaking Dawn Part 1 or 2, but I have seen the third Twilight film, Eclipse, which I believe came out back in 2010. The Twilight movies. If I had to pick a single worst movie franchise of all time, it's definitely Twilight. The first 2 Twilight movies just put together are in my top 5 worst movies of all time. They're so bad, and if you had an older sister that was in her late in her tweens or early teens during the 2000s and early 2010s, you were probably forced to watch this movie as well. And oh my gosh, it's and years from then, my sister was yeah, I used to be a big Twilight fan, but then I grew up and realized just how horrible it was. This movie's a horrible message for little girls. Bella Swan, played by Kristen Stewart, is just a terrible role model for kids. It's oh, you should just be this boring, bland teenage girl whose entire character is based on her need for a boyfriend. And I will say that Eclipse is not as terrible as in the first 2 Twilight films. That's why I didn't put it higher on the list, because the last fight scene with all the vampires, werewolves, that was kind of cool, but this film was just, again, more teenage romance cringiness. And if you guys want me to live stream my reactions to Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2 at some point, I'll do that for you guys if you'd like. There'll probably be a lot of booze involved, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Number 6!
I can't believe, I can't remember a single Greek mythology movie that's both accurate to the original myths and is actually a good movie. Because my number 6 spot goes to Percy Jackson and Olympians, The Lightning Thief. I love the Percy Jackson books. I was a huge Percy Jackson fan as a kid, but unfortunately, my unlucky self, when I was in middle school, I saw the movie in the theaters with my mom and my sister, but before I started reading the books, and I really didn't like the movie as a kid. Then my sister, who had read the books at the time, told me that it was a terrible adaptation of the books, and therefore I started reading the books, and I hated the movie even more. because this film is honestly one of the worst like book to film adaptations I've ever seen. Chris Columbus, the director of the first like 2 Harry Potter films, what on earth were you thinking with this mess? Oh my gosh, they didn't follow the book. Like there was so much to go off of, and they just totally screwed it up. And like the pearls that they used, it's like no, they weren't supposed to. The whole plot revolved around that. They didn't need to. It's not how the book was. And even if this film wasn't based on a book, even if it was its own original movie, I still hate this movie to death. Because it's just, the CGI is bland, the acting is atrocious, the dialogue, ugh, the writing in this movie is so bad. Like, Annabeth, not only is she not blonde like how she is in the books, she just talks so cringy. I definitely have feelings for you, Percy. I just don't know they're positive or negative. Bitch, please! Like, Annabeth would never say that. And also, they cast Sean Bean as Zeus. Sean Bean as Zeus. Like, that is insulting to a lot of film buffs, because Sean Bean is supposed to die in every movie he's in. And he's playing Zeus. Zeus is a god, the king of gods. And gods don't die. Like, how dare you do that? That is atrocious. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of out of breath. Anyway, let's go to the next spot on this list.
Number 5!
Alright, we're moving to the top 5 here, guys. Again, these are like worst movies of all time we're talking about. The number 5 spot goes to The Last Airbender. You know, I bought the complete like series of The Last Airbender on DVD. Excuse me, over the summer, and I've been rewatching that quite a lot. You actually respect Airbender more when you watch it as an adult, because I was a huge Airbender fan as a kid, and I can safely say that The Last Airbender, like the TV series on Nickelodeon, is like one of my favorite cartoons of all time. I love that show so much. Like, the TV show perfectly balanced out action, comedy, drama, and romance, with the film adaptation from M. Night Shyamalan. Like, there was no comedy aside from 2 like annoying moments from Sokka. Loads of really bad drama, horrible romance between Sokka, or Sokka I should say, and Yue, and there was no action. All the action in that movie, viewers, was just a bunch of dancing with freaking fire and earth and water and wind thrown in there. Just, oh my gosh, the choreography for the fight scenes was horribly executed, horrible acting, horrible dialogue. Like, how do you make a movie with over $100 million worth of budget and have some of the worst CGI I've ever seen? Like, that's not Appa. Like, that is a horrible, like, Where the Wild Things Are hybrid with a, like, I don't even know. Oh my goodness. Airbender, like, thank God I didn't see this movie in 3D way back in the day, because I heard that the 3D effects to this movie were just heinous. Like, M. Night Shyamalan, you know, I've seen him do some good movies. Just don't give him a big budget. And like, and it's such a shame, because I really think that a live-action Airbender movie can work. Just, you gotta make it more accurate to the source material. And you should probably make it like 4 movies instead of 3. Not just to make more money from it, but for, you know, just to give them more time to establish the characters and establish the lore. Because they were going to include the Kyoshi Warriors in the Last Airbender movie. But due to time and budget, they decided to scrap them, which is horrible because they were such a crucial part to the show. And of course, don't let M. Night Shyamalan have anything to do with it. Remember how I said Hollywood can't seem to get Greek mythology movies right? Well, let's talk about my 4th worst movie of this decade, and that is The Legend of Hercules. Holy Hera, like, how do you mess up a Hercules movie this badly? Jeez, just, like, before I even started reviewing movies on YouTube, way back in 2014, before I posted my first movie review, I made a whole rant video, not a review, a rant, dedicated to The Legend of Hercules, because I saw Jeremy Johns' review on it that year, and he was just like, ranting about how horrible it was, so I decided to wait for it to come out on Files and watch it myself. And I watched it, and I was like, this is terrible. Like, oh my gosh, like this movie is so bad. Like the last scene where like Hercules channels lightning through his sword and uses it to wipe out a bunch of dudes, that was kind of cool, I guess, but the CGI is really bad. And the costumes are really cheap looking. The film is just so cheap. Cheap is cheap. Like the costumes, the acting, they couldn't afford better actors. They were so wooden, so like over the top, and like the villains are just like some of the worst movie villains I've ever seen. It's like Hercules' earthly dad, who was out to kill him the entire time, just yells constantly, and his half-brother is just so, like, such a knockoff Loki. Like, just, he's so slimy and so, like, forgettable, and the action scenes, there's way too much slow-mo. It's trying to be like 300, it's trying to be all cool, and like every time someone gets like slashed, it's like just hits the sword, yeah, and it just looks so stupid. Like, guys, come on, this isn't like the 2000s anymore. Like, we're moving into a new decade. We shouldn't be hit over the head with this like slow-mo nonsense. I mean, slow-mo in some movies is done well, but like other times it's used obnoxiously. And again, like, why can't Hollywood just like do it right? I get it. Greek mythology is very convoluted, and there's a lot of different interpretations of the same stories. But you can at least like try to be accurate while still, you know, making a good movie. Because I love the Disney movie Hercules. Like, it's a great movie, but it like does not paint an accurate portrayal of Hercules at all. Which I get because, you know, it's Disney. But seriously, like, Hollywood, stop ruining. Like, Egypt, I'm talking to you too. Like, I apologize both to people from Egypt and Greece that we, you know, Westerners keep butchering your cultures and folklore and mythologies to the art of cinema. It's just, it needs to stop. Alright guys, here it is. My third, we're in the top 3. This is my third least favorite movie, 2010s. You know, I didn't think M. Night Shyamalan could make a movie worse than Last Airbender, but nope, I was wrong. He made After Earth. And I say After Earth is worse than Airbender because I was really disappointed by Last Airbender, but I was just flat out really angry with After Earth because they totally ruined one of my favorite actors, Will Smith. Like, he's so boring and unforgettable. And now he is unforgettable for how bad he is. Him and Jaden Smith, his son, are just, they don't work well, even though they're father and son. It's just, the movie's so boring. It's like, they totally ruined a pretty good concept, a pretty cool premise of what Earth would look like millions of years from now. But yet, like, they just horrendously butchered it with terrible acting, terrible screenplay, really lame special effects too, and really badly executed action scenes. And like, Jaden Smith, dude, just stay out of movies. Please leave the acting to the father, to your father, I should say. Because Will Smith is a great actor, still is. But like, After Earth is just really just so boring and so lame. What's there to be said about this movie? I don't even remember a lot of things that happened After Earth. Like, I remember there being a scene with monkeys, and Jaden Smith saying some really cringy things before monkeys show up, and this really weird, like, alien thing that tries to kill him at the end of the movie. And yeah, just After Earth, like, deserves to be wiped from our memories. I actually know, as Nostalgia Cricket put it, you know, we movie reviewing YouTubers remember it so you guys don't have to. So yeah, let us carry that burden for you guys. Like, go enjoy your lives without worrying about films like this.
Number 2!
Okay. Guys, here it is, really coming down to the line here. My second worst movie of 2010s. Like, I remember if I made my top 10 worst movies of all time in 2015 instead of 2014, you're damn sure that 50 Shades of Grey would be put in the top 5. Like, oh my gosh, 50 Shades of Grey. I honestly refused to watch 50 Shades Darker and 50 Shades Freed. Like, I refused because, like, I cannot support movies like this. 50 Shades of Grey was like, we were promised like kinky sex scenes, right? But no, it doesn't even get to the sexy stuff until 45 minutes into the freaking film, and the acting is so cringy and so bad. The writing is atrocious. I hate this movie's soundtrack. Just Academy, I will never forgive you for this. I can't believe you nominated The Weeknd for Earned It, like, for Best Original Song, but not See You Again from Fury 7. I'm still really angry about it because, this has to be, like, the worst movie I've ever seen that's ever been nominated for an Oscar. I can't believe it. And 50 Shades of Grey is just so bad and so unforgettable. The choreography, the lighting, it wasn't even shot well. Even though, you know, special effects shouldn't matter for like a romantic drama like this, but still, it still looks terrible. And like it's so honestly, I shouldn't even like keep talking about this movie. Like, again, I gave up porn years ago. It's disgusting, but seriously, not that I condone this. If you guys want to watch porno, you're better off looking up on Google instead of watching this movie. Trust me. Here it is, guys. My number one worst movie of the 2010s. Like, the only reason why this isn't just like my least favorite movie of all time is because I've seen Troll 2. That's my least favorite movie of all time. That was back in the 90s. But since we're just looking at all the horrible movies that came out in the 2010s, this guy's really tops the list. And this, my worst movie of 2010s is movie 43. That really describes movie 43. I can't believe some people actually think the scene with balls hanging off of Hugh Jackman's neck is funny. No! That scene was disgusting and stupid. And that's the entire movie right there. It's disgusting, it's stupid, it's racist. Not the funny kind of racist, like South Park kind of racist. It's just the annoying kind of racist. And it totally ruins this really big, well-known cast of, you know, Kate Winslet, Hugh Jackman, Chris Pratt, Emma Stone, and so many other people in this movie. And Peter Farrelly, I like Peter Farrelly. He's a pretty good director. He's made some funny movies. But this is not one of them. Like, he totally ruined it. And, like, the sketch comedy just doesn't work in film. That's why I have YouTube. And YouTube doesn't even make good sketch comedy anymore. Sketch comedy should just be, like, left to actual comedians. Which I guess this movie was written by comedians. But not very good comedians, I assume. And I can't believe this movie exists. It's so, like, horribly acted. The dialogue is so bad, and it relies way too much on all the comedy cliches that we've seen 1,000 times, with poop jokes and fart jokes and pee-pee jokes, and again, just like poorly executed offensive jokes. And oh boy, I just really wish I could forget this movie, but I can't. This movie 43 is really, oh my, words can't describe how much I hate this movie. It's just so bad. And not the funny kind of bad. It's just the really annoying, and boring kind of bad. It's both. I don't have to take an annoying film over a boring film, but when a film does both, that's like the worst kind of movie right there. Like, comedies that aren't funny are just the worst. And movie 43 is the worst. It's the worst movie of the 2010s, and I'm really glad that it took home the Razzie Award for Worst Picture back in 2013. This film totally deserves to just be thrown in the garbage. Not even at the bottom of the Walmart's, you know, $5 like DVD bin where it doesn't even belong there. It just belongs in a dumpster. Throw that baby into the incinerators and just let's all move on and hope that the 2020s doesn't give us movies that are worse than movie 43. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed me venting about all these movies one last time. Let's hope I never have to talk about these movies again. And yeah, the sun is setting quite nicely. The water feels nice. It was really cold earlier, just on my feet, you know. Not really swimming weather, but still good weather regardless. And yeah, I expect this video to go up pretty soon. I'm filming this on the first Sunday of the 2020s. So hopefully this will go up either before I come back from Florida or something a little bit afterwards. And expect me to make my top 9 most anticipated movies of 2020 coming soon. And yeah, expect some reaction videos and other videos. I got a COD video that I've been meaning to upload for a few days now, so I'll put that up when I get a chance. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll be, you know, going back to school soon, so I'm not too sure how consistent I'll be with my videos, you know, with my uploads within a few weeks. But, you know, we'll see what happens. I'm determined to make it work with consistent uploads and, you know, getting classes done and whatnot. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Peace out.